Hello, everyone. I'm using a throwaway account to get an unbiased opinion on a situation I feel very conflicted about. I'm a 41-year-old man. English isn't my first language, so please forgive any grammar issues. I got married to my ex-wife, 41, fairly young, and we were together for 10 years. We have two daughters, ages 13 and 10. We divorced nearly 9 years ago when our youngest wasn't even 2. The divorce was mostly my decision. I had fallen out of love with her, and our visions for the future had grown very different. I'll be honest, I had met someone else. The divorce was incredibly difficult, and my ex-wife was understandably very hurt. She accused me of violence and abuse, resulting in me spending the night in a jail cell, but those accusations went nowhere, though they left a mark. She wanted full custody, which I didn't contest, as I was often relocated for work and didn't want to disrupt the girls' lives. I paid child support and allowed her to keep our apartment, car, and furniture. The judge granted me school holidays, aside from summer, which we split evenly with the girls, which usually involves a 10-hour round trip to pick them up. Over the years, my ex has maintained a very strong resentment towards me. We never communicate beyond occasional texts. When I pick up the girls, she doesn't even come outside. Any small issue with their return, a delay or a missing item, results in complaints and even police reports. Any co-parenting attempts are thrown out the window. Even things that has to do with me, like my family and friends, she will ignore or be very cold towards. I try to maintain my relationship with the girls despite these difficulties, but it's often hard to know what's going on in their lives. They sometimes arrive for visits with clothes that are too small or health issues I wasn't informed of. One of my main concerns is my eldest daughter's eating habits. My ex has a very controlled approach to food and thinness, which the girls seem to have picked up on. My oldest daughter has become very picky, often refusing food or wasting it. She only wants pasta with cheese and resists trying anything else, which worries me. During their last spring holiday with me, I tried to enforce some healthier eating habits, which led to a heated situation. After she repeatedly refused to apologize for her behavior, I took her phone away, and on the last day, she even tried to sneak some things out of my house. I know my ex I also very stingy with money. The girls always talk about money, savings. If they see something that says free or coupons, they will take a picture and send to their mom. They say they can't have anything because mom can't afford it. But with me, they will ask me for everything. PlayStations, gifts, clothes, amusement parks, holidays, etc. Because according to my ex, I have a lot of money. Now my ex is far from rich, but she has a normal 9-to-5 job that pays fairly, and also the child support I pay, which is about enough for them to live comfortably and be able to have shoes that fit. Anyway, shortly after the incident mentioned above, I received a text from my ex, but it was actually from my daughter saying she didn't want to visit me anymore. I had previously messaged my ex about my concerns regarding our daughter's eating habits and possible signs of an eating disorder, but she ignored it. My wife, whom I remarried 4 years ago, has also noticed that my daughter looks underweight and shares my concerns, having grown up with a sister who struggled with bulimia. There's one incident that I think may have really escalated things. After a disagreement with my daughter over her behavior and eating, I stepped out briefly to cool down and pick up some groceries. My daughter panicked, ran to a neighbor we don't know, and called my sister to say I had left her and her sister alone. She even almost convinced the neighbor to call the police. She's 13 and perfectly capable of being alone for 30 to 40 minutes. I feel like this was a reaction to having her phone taken away, but it put her and her sister in an uncomfortable and potentially risky situation. Since receiving that message from her saying she no longer wants contact, I've felt heartbroken and defeated. I haven't responded or tried to reach out, partly to respect my daughter's wishes, but also out of exhaustion. My ex appears to support this estrangement, and I'm torn about whether reaching out would help or just make things worse. Complicating things further, I recently initiated legal action to ask my ex to pay me back for half of the apartment's value, as she's lived there rent-free for the last 8 years. She's told the girls that I want to make them homeless, which isn't true. It's been nearly a year since I've seen or spoken to my daughters, and I feel lost. I know I'm the adult here and should probably make the first move, but I'm worn out by years of hostility. AITA for not reaching out and respecting my daughter's request, or should I be trying harder to bridge the gap?